Hey YouTube, long time seller here, and I want to touch on a subject of continuing subject where I'm comparing WhatNot to eBay. Now I'm new to WhatNot, barely 5 weeks into it, and I'm uh, 7.5, almost 8 years into eBay. And so I'm going to show you what I've learned the first after this first month or so on selling on WhatNot, and I'm going to do some comparisons here and show you some actual money figures. And now, granted, my sales and items quantity and experience on eBay is 20-fold what it is on WhatNot, but this is my early, like, 6 week perspective on this, and so we'll get this going here, and I'll see if I can't financials here. Okay, this I'm done these from the same uh, time period. Okay, these are my eBay sales, which was $18,604. Okay, and this is from November 1st to December 20th. Okay, now WhatNot for the same time period is $1,844. Okay, and you can see I've just done a few shows here, and uh, granted that's 10 times on eBay versus WhatNot, but I also have right at 10,000 items listed on eBay, and on WhatNot I've ran like 9 shows. So my thoughts on this is that I personally believe both platforms are good to sell on. Okay, I don't know if I can necessarily say one is better than the other, but I think that would depend on you as a seller and what you are selling, because this is my perspective after these first few weeks here. This 6 weeks on between the two is that WhatNot tends to be a younger, more progressive crowd, I guess, and they are hunting for bargains, and they are hunting for bulk deals, and they are hunting for cool vintage stuff. And not saying that that doesn't happen on eBay as well, but I'm under the impression that eBay, my buyers on eBay are an older crowd, like 40 and up. Now, I'm not saying that younger people aren't on eBay, they are, but the majority of the crowd is 40 up. So the product that they want versus the product that the WhatNot crowd wants is a little bit different. And so that's something to take in account after these 6 weeks. But I am pleasantly surprised with the WhatNot selling platform. I mean, I think that I'm not going to say one is better than the other. I can't do that at this time. Uh, and that may change down the road, because I am transitioning more to, I'm adding more and more items to WhatNot. And I found WhatNot is a good place for me to get rid of some of my older inventory that may not have moved on eBay, and I can bundle up and or showcase on WhatNot and actually put the item in front of the buyer, which is, that's a great thing with eBay. It's a listing, and you're getting the person there with keywords, and then you're enticing, or not enticing them, but drawing them in with your photos second, and then your price third. So that's how your eBay sales go. On WhatNot, I found you're showcasing the item first. You know, you may have a generic title for your show, but the specific item is when you have people in your show and you hold this up and you show it and you describe it and you outline it. Say, hey, it's this, it's got this feel to it, it's got this logo, it's got this, and you can more accurately describe and give the person a better feel for the type of item that they're purchasing. So that's where I think WhatNot outweighs eBay. But like I say, I'm just transitioning in here, and so I don't know. I'm not going to put one platform against above the other right now. I think they're both excellent selling platforms, and I know there are other platforms out here. These are the two that I have experience in right now. Is I do sell on Macari occasionally, and I haven't had enough experience and enough sales to really want to do Macari full time. And it's nothing against Macari. I'm sure it has some good there are some good sellers on there, but I think the two right now, I think the two best pre-owned, and I'm a pre-owned clothing seller. I think the best two pre-owned clothing markets right now is eBay and WhatNot. And eBay is an older, established business that's almost 25 years old on the internet, and WhatNot is a new company. But WhatNot is growing, and I'm having some good sales. And I sat down and figured out my uh, earnings on WhatNot. And what I did is I took the amount of time it took to create my show, the amount of time it took to run the show, and the amount of time it took to ship items after the show. And I am earning right at $50 an hour. I think it was 50 to it's between $50 and $60 an hour. It's closer to 50 an hour. So I'm making 50 an hour selling on WhatNot, and I'm just doing this part time, a couple days a week, and I make closer to 75 or 80 an hour on eBay, but I don't really devote as much time as I used to because I'm kind of semi-retired and I do a lot more fishing now. But here's the end result of either one of these platforms, and I think these are both great platforms. I think they're potential for both, and I think if you sell on one, you should be able to sell on the other, and use vice versa, because sometimes you'll have an item that won't sell on one, will sell on the other, and the same way. So it's with any business, online, physical, whatever, you are going to get out of that business what you put into it. And I don't care what kind of business you're running. If you're doing a part-time brick and mortar business, you're going to get part-time results. If you're doing a part-time online business, you're going to get part-time results as far as compensation. If you do it full-time and you put your heart and your effort into it, whether it's a brick and mortar or an online presence, and I have a brick and mortar store as well as an online presence, so I've got the experience in here, and let you know that your reward is equal to the amount of work you put into it. So that's basically my outtake on these. And I do believe eBay and WhatNot are both great selling platforms. I enjoy them. I like WhatNot more than a live stream because I'm actually interacting with live people with questions and comments and things like that, and getting to show them the actual product. And so it's a little more personal. And I see where WhatNot's going to grow. I really think WhatNot's going to grow and be a powerhouse 5 years on down the road. I think they're going to be up there competing big time with eBay. And now eBay doesn't compete with Amazon per se in the market capture, but eBay's on up there, and I think you're going to see WhatNot climbing on up there and passing some of these other platforms. So, all right, well, hey, I'm going to cut this video short, and I just thought I'd throw this out there, and hopefully it helps somebody and helps you make up your mind what you want to do or how you want to sell things. And there's no reason to limit yourself to one platform if you have the time. If you're doing part-time, don't split your time. If you got full time to put into it, split your time and do it. So, alrighty. Hey, well, everybody have a great holiday season. I'll catch you on the flip side.